Before I get started, I wanted to thank all of you for watching my videos. It means a lot, and hopefully you've picked up a few titles based on my recommendations that maybe save some money along the way. On a side note, the music you hear in the intro and background of every video was made by Michael H., formerly Manadrip Studios. He's a friend of mine I've known since middle school, and there's a link down below to his Fiverr page if you want some music for your own projects. As for the channel's art, logos, and maybe effects that might come later, hint hint, wink wink, those were made by an old army friend of mine who's also been giving me a bit of direction when it comes to writing. If he ever creates a Fiverr page or a website, I'll be sure to link that down below. So this is probably my fourth or fifth time trying to read through this script, and I can't fucking stand it. So I'm just going to go through this bullet point by bullet point kind of, because I've tried to just talk off the top of my head, but I sound like a fucking idiot. And then I try to read through the script and it's like 2 minutes long. So I'll just talk from the top of my head and maybe occasionally look at this script because I'm tired of trying to fucking get this done. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but it's working. The days of me waking up early in the fucking morning, going to work, coming back home, and then writing these reviews or editing or whatever, it's worth it, kind of. It's worth it. I'm not gonna lie. I like it. I enjoy it. I feel like I'm doing a service to everybody, right? And at some point, this will pay off. And it's just fucking not right now. But the continued support by simply watching my videos means the world to me. And I truly mean that. Like, I fucking can't believe like some of these videos have over 5,000 views. That's fucking wild. And like, I'm sure if I keep this up 5, 6, 7 years in the future, like fucking there'll probably be some in the millions. By the way, I know like if you don't like me dropping F-bombs, whatever. That's why I write scripts, because this is how I probably talk regularly. And when I'm streaming, this is how I talk. So if you don't like it, you can click off, but please don't. Please. So I started this channel mainly focusing on indie and AA dev games, right? Because genuinely, I feel that indie titles and AA titles, especially the AAs, they are really where you find your new ideas, your new, not IPs, but like your interesting stuff, right? Like Factorio, that's like an indie title. Satisfactory, even though those two titles are pretty much the same thing. Another Crab's Treasure, great indie title. Blood West, interesting, kind of the same stuff we've been experiencing, but regardless, it's a fun experience. Filter, made by a solo dev. All these games are indies and they're fantastic. Most of these games give me that feeling back when you cracked open a new game, like you pull off the plastic around the Xbox 360 cases, you open it up, you take a huge whiff of the Chinese plastic odor, and then you're just ready to play the game, right? Like that's how I feel when I play some of these games. Now granted, some of them just suck, you know, and that's kind of the deal with how I do these reviews. I go in purely blind. Some of them I played before, others not so much. But regardless, the AAA gaming industry, it continues to go downhill. Like it's a fact. We all know it. And the only people that's really keeping it alive are the dude bros who buy FIFA every year, who buy Madden every year, who spend about $4,000 a month on COD skins. Either way, more and more people are looking for different experiences, right? Because they're tired of loot boxes. They're tired of battle passes. They're tired of competitive shooters. And eventually we all get older, and eventually those reaction times get worse. You're not as fast. You're not as sharp. And then guess what? You want other titles to experience. And that's where this channel comes in. It's to filter out a lot of crap, because there's a lot of crap out there, whether you want to accept it or not. And then I want this channel to be somewhere where you can go to and maybe see a title that just looks interesting and you want to give it a try. You sit through the review and maybe give the game a shot, or now aware to avoid it. That's the goal of this channel. As for my videos themselves, they're not up to the standard I want them to be. I'm working on it on every video. I'm working on the voiceover work. I'm working on getting good graphical scenes to keep you visually interested. I'm trying to figure out, like, am I shoving too many memes into a video? Am I not shoving enough memes into a video? It's a balance, because I want the video to be entertaining, but I also want to stay on topic and not throw so many distractions into it that you forget what I'm talking about. I'd say maybe when the channel gets a good amount of content to it, I think I'll hit that point where I just naturally just gain subscribers without me publishing videos, which is kind of the goal I'm looking towards right now, because I think that's a good goal to have in mind, just to have not enough shit content out there, because I'm not trying to rush every video I make, but to have enough content out there to where videos from like 6 months ago like generate a subscriber. And that doesn't mean that sole videos generated a subscriber. Maybe they went down a rabbit hole into my channel and they finally decided that I was worthy of their attention, which thank you. A lot of the titles I've reviewed this year have just been hit or miss. They all propose a challenge of some kind. Every single one of them. It doesn't matter if it's a game I've already played or if it's a brand new experience. It's really hard to identify what's worth talking about. Unlike the Dishonored series, the Stick series, Another Craft's Treasure, I kind of went and explained all the powers, all the abilities, how you traverse the levels, blah, 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 right? And then I think on Shadows of Doubt, Shadwin, and the next review that's going to come out on Christmas, I kind of didn't go in depth as much as I typically do. So I'm kind of excited to see how that new review does, but like I'm trying to do it to see whether or not it's worth it for me to go through every fucking game system there is. Now, if it's worth it, it's worth it. If it's worth me putting in the time and effort, then the game will, it's probably already good and I don't need to explain it, but I'm going to anyway because that's my job. But what I'm trying to avoid is making a 4-hour dissertation on every game. Nothing kills me more than seeing like a 2-hour retrospect on a game that's like 2 years old, because that makes no goddamn sense. Like, I could just make videos on games that I know are good or that I know most people will enjoy, but that's kind of cheating in a way. I wouldn't say like I keep an eye on like competitors or anything, but like I look at other channels to kind of see what they're up to, maybe take some inspiration or, something like that. But when I stumble across a channel that has nothing but positive things to say about the games they review, that throws up a red flag to me that maybe they're not in it for the right reasons. Because if they're only talking positively about every single title on their channel, I wonder how many of those titles they've gotten early and how many of those titles came with a little bit of compensation, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think it's important for me to review games that I really don't like, because that at least keeps my integrity intact. If I put out a game that if I put out a review of a game that I genuinely think is bad, at least you can disagree with it, you can hate on me all you want, but at least you know that I'm telling what I believe to be the truth. In the end though, I hope my videos do a good job of convincing you whether or not to play a game or to maybe just avoid it. Because at that point, if I've successfully done one of those two things, then I'm doing my job pretty well. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. Thank you all for being part of this journey. This is my first, I think, freeform video I've done on the review channel, and I will probably put out maybe one of these a year. Maybe. Yeah, probably one a year, just a yearly review. I don't really see a reason to do it more often. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that fun stuff. And I will see you soon.